Hi, I'm Yolanda. Welcome to Yolanda's Cakes. In today's video, I will demonstrate how to use different tips for decorating our cakes. I will use cupcakes for the demonstration. If you notice, my cupcakes are almost leveled or flat and don't have a huge dome. To acquire leveled cupcakes like these, I fill the cupcake cups with 3 tablespoons of batter only, and I bake between 325 to 345 degrees Fahrenheit. This will not allow for spillage of the batter and will not form a crust or a dome. When placing a refrigerated or frozen flour or roast over a cupcake, I always like to ice it lightly. That way the flour can adhere to the icing and the icing has already adhered to the cupcake. I also suggest that you use disposable gloves when working with food coloring, especially dark colors. Also, to have additional decorating tips and pastry bags handy just in case your bag breaks. We are going to start by using tip number 104, and we will be making ruffles in this fashion. We now switch to tip number 21. We are now using tip number 48. We are now making large dots. If they come out with a peak on top, dip your fingers into powdered sugar or cornstarch to flatten them. I am now piping with tip 199. You may also use this tip to pipe borders. I will now use tip 104 to make a rose on my cupcake. This is the same tip that we use to make ruffles and rosebuds. So let's use tip number 21 again. With this tip, we make a whole lot of decorations, including shells and stars. Every cake decorator should have at least one. Now let's take a look at some giant tips. The first one is tip number 6B. It is awesome for decorating juvenile cakes and also for cake borders as well. The second tip is tip number 1M. This is a very popular tip. You can use it to make rosettes, shells, and borders. If your icing is good, You will get a very defined decoration with this tip. The next tips that I'm going to be demonstrating are the regular size Russian tips. These tips don't have numbers, but you can take a look at the designs. I am working with prepared pouches filled with different colors. For this technique, I have placed the links on how to make these pouches. You may watch those videos to learn the techniques. And these are the giant Russian tips. I have each tip in its own bag, but I'm using one pouch for all of the bags. Again, you can watch the links to see how I made these pouches. And lastly, let's take a look at the Russian ball tips. With these tips, we can make rosettes. When using these tips, you should not use a 10-inch long pastry bag. To introduce the tip inside the bag, cut no more than 2¼ inches from the tip of your pastry bag, as the ball is wider than the round end of the tip. To make the rosette, move your hand either left to right or right to left about 5 times. After you finish piping, the rosettes will have a hole in the middle, but you will fill it with either another small Russian tip or any tip of your choosing. You may also use the round tip number 12. I should mention that if you are not applying the flowers directly on the cupcakes or on the cake, then you should either freeze or refrigerate them and then apply them to the cake or cupcakes. Bring them out to room temperature 5 minutes before you apply them on the cake or cupcakes. And here I'm filling in the center of the rosette with a small Russian tip in dark green color. Well, I hope that you enjoyed this tutorial. Look all the flowers and roses we made with only a few tips. Imagine what you can do when you use all of the tips that you have at home. You can make different flowers and roses. You make your own designs. With this tutorial, I hope that I was able to inspire you to use any tips that you have. You don't need to go out crazy buying all the tips that you see in the store, but you can decorate using your own tips. Thank you for watching. Please share, like, and subscribe. And don't forget to check out the other links for other tutorials. God bless you and have a great day.